did they kind of not mind that the mobsters were there? Were they uneasy? You know, how did guys kind of react when the wise guys were around?
First up, we all grew up together.
So you knew each other, yeah.
You're in a mob and he's in a mob. We all grew up together, so I don't care what you.
Got it.
As long as it doesn't come here.
And also, the presence of, like, say, Bruno was around. He was a mobster.
Yeah.
A lot of disputes between the Italians. This guy doesn't like that guy.
Good whole court, yeah.
Or a mobster or a guy that was around would help mediate. You know, an organized crime guy would mediate.
Right.
You know, they wouldn't put their hands on another guy because the presence of the organized crime that was there. They would go to the organized crime criminal, not just for a beef, an argument. You know, something happened. Somebody went into somebody's restaurant and was disrespectful. They would go to the organized crime. That's how it was growing up for me. Am I right with that? And that's how it was even when I was on the streets.
Well, that's what one of the things I've always kind of studied, that I always said that, like, you know, whether we like it or not, the mob had some utility. And what I mean by that is, you know, neighborhood disputes, you can't go to the cops, who's fighting who did this to whose daughter. So you go to the local wise guy, they kind of mediate it, and what they would say was law. And I would say, I want to get your guys' opinion. From my personal experience and opinion, that was up to kind of the mid-90s in New York and New Jersey. How about by you? Did it make it to the mid-90s? Did it make it to the 2000s where it was more of a local thing, or did that die out a way long time before that?
So for me, that was right up until I was on the streets in 2010. If somebody had wrong that, and not just with Italians, I mean, throughout our city, because it's not a large city, and going into Connecticut, if there was any type of a dispute business-wise, yeah, they would come to us, and we would, like I had a nightclub in Connecticut.
Yeah.
It was in around, I would say, 03. Patriarchas were, they had a club there too, and there was a little dispute, and I went and sat down with the boss in Providence of the Patriarchas, Louis Minacchio.
Yeah.
I went with the boss in Boston, and pretty much got the okay to do whatever I wanted with the guy. If I wanted to leave, they said leave him in the streets. So that would be a way, like, business-wise, we handle it. Also, this was a 100%. If somebody bothered somebody that was around us, that presence was still there up in a way in 2010. I mean, so and how were we, Tom? How were we treated as the organized crime guys? And there wasn't, there was a lot. Tom, this was heavily populated Italian city.
Yeah.
95% of the Italians here were hardworking, legitimate people.
Oh, of course.
Me and Bruno and organized crime associates, those were the small portion. But how were the organized crime treated, as far as, like, around here?
Well, Springfield's 10 miles by 10 miles, believe it or not, square.
That's it?
1,000 people.
Wow.
So it's not a small city.
Yeah.
But our guys were treated like movie stars. They come walking into a restaurant, it's like,
right,
like De Niro walked in or Pacino walked in,
Yeah.
And in fact,
now I do want to ask this, because this is, like, again, I don't even know if this was even done before. I'm still a little bit of shock. Obviously, an incident happened with Bruno outside the club. What happened post then? Like, did membership, did it wane? Did people gain more interest? Did you have, like, weirdos that, like, watch the news and would, like, drive by and gawk? Like, what happened kind of post Bruno era after the incident, if you don't mind me asking, guys?
Well, I was still around in 03.
As he takes his drink.
Yeah, he had a drink. So the club still was flourishing even up until, it's still, the club is doing good now. Frank is the president. He's bringing it back.
Nice.
I think a lot of the Italian immigrants kind of got older.
Yeah.
One, Italy kind of, passed away, and kind of it grew down to younger generation. They're more Americanized, and they're not into the society the way it was.
Yeah.
Going to lose a lot of memberships there. But it was still popping off in 2000 and after.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it was still doing well.
We had a hell of an Italian festival here.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to have 3 feasts back in the day.
Yeah, 3.
Well, let's plug the club a little more. So Frank, do you guys have a feast? Is there a way to donate? How can we get involved? Because I'm a big fan already of the Mount Carmel Society.
The feast, like I said, everything dwindled down,
Right.
everything, and feast is. But Frank is the president here. If you want to put something out there, it's Mount Carmel Society. I don't know what they're doing well. The club is a lot better than when I went away to prison in 2010, and I see it now. I mean,
it's a beautiful.
As far as the decorative and the ambience of the place, I mean, it's beautiful. They have parties here now, and it's a